Hello everyone. Today we are diving deep into something that is truly empowering, and that is your menstrual cycle. Now, I know that our menstrual cycles and that time of the month has been dreaded for a long time. A lot of us grew up seeing it as an inconvenience. It was something to be shameful about for some of us. What if I told you that your menstrual cycles and your periods are actually your superpower? When you understand what's happening in each phase of your menstrual cycle, it's like having a crystal ball available to you to see how you should be spending your energy during each phase. That means that you can plan your social life and your work life around your cycle, because at different phases in your cycles, you're going to have a certain amount of energy to spend. And some phases will offer more energy and other phases less energy. So knowing how to navigate how you spend your energy during these phases in order to optimize your social life and work life is so key. Now, it's not just about adjusting how you approach big projects and whatnot, but it's really also optimizing your emotional health and just overall well-being. This knowledge is transformative. We're going to explore each phase of your menstrual cycle through an Ayurvedic lens and how we can tap into the natural rhythms of each of these phases in order to boost your energy, your emotional well-being, mental clarity, productivity, and whatnot. So if you're ready to stop dreading your period and to work with your cycle and not against it, and you want more of that energy, you want more of that emotional well-being and stability, then keep watching. Welcome back to Her Sacred Cradle, where we talk about Ayurvedic pelvic wellness in order for you guys to achieve better periods, fertility, birth, and postpartum experiences. Today we are talking about something truly transformative, and I believe every woman should know this, and this is the superpower of her menstrual cycle. As I've mentioned before, most of us grew up seeing our periods as an inconvenience, something to dread. It was a calendar date where we had to make sure we had extra supplies on hand. It was just a way to approach pregnancy planning. But actually, our periods and our menstrual cycle as a whole hold so much wisdom. Our menstrual cycle and our periods hold the codes to our overall health and well-being. So imagine understanding why some days you feel more energetic and powerful and ambitious, and other days your body is just craving rest and introspection. With Ayurveda, the ancient holistic medicinal system, it makes it so easy for you to understand your menstrual cycles and help to bring harmony during each phase. According to Ayurveda, our menstrual cycle is the most powerful indicator of our overall health. So it's best to learn how to work with our cycle and not against it in order to optimize our overall health and well-being, as well as get those things done on your to-do list and to enjoy life and to feel more emotional stability. So let's dive in. The first phase, which is referred to as the menstrual phase in the Western model, but it's actually considered the Vata dominant phase in Ayurveda. And that means it is ruled by the elements of air and ether, which means there's a lot of movement happening during this phase. And it is also referred to as our inner winter. This is a time of detoxification and rest. And your body is shedding what it no longer needs, both on a physical level and a subtle energetic level. So it's no accident that it feels really hard when you're trying to push through tasks during this time. Your body was simply made for rest during this Vata phase. So tips for navigating this phase is to embrace more grounding, warming, nourishing foods like soups and stews, drinking warm teas throughout the day, making sure that you have a boring social calendar because you don't want to overcommit yourself to many things during this time. Make room for reflection and meditation. Journaling is also a great activity to do during this time. And remember to dress warm and keep your feet warm as well, because in the Vata phase, the body tends to dip in the body temperature, and just keeping it nice and warm will really support your body's detoxification process in the most optimal way. Okay, so the second phase of our menstrual cycle is the follicular phase, according to the Western model, but it is referred to as the Kapha phase in Ayurveda. And Kapha is the earth and water elements. So this is also often referred to as our inner spring. So when you think about that, you think about rejuvenation, renewal, new beginnings, and energy is returning. And so that's exactly what's happening within your body. Your endometrium lining is starting to thicken again, anticipating an egg to be fertilized when you do ovulate. And so it's during this time women feel energized, they feel social, they feel so good in their bodies during this phase. Tips to navigate this phase would be start those new projects. Go ahead and plan those social engagements and say yes to those social engagements during this time, because you are in a phase where you feel more grounded mentally and your body is able to take on a lot more energizing tasks and activities. You'll also notice that during this phase you don't want to eat heavy and very dense meals. And that is for a very good reason, because you already are in the Kapha phase, which is the earth phase. You've already got enough of that going on. So you'll find yourself gravitating towards more stimulating foods that are revitalizing and are on the lighter end of the spectrum. So the next phase is ovulation. So when you actually ovulate, and then into your luteal phase, according to the Western model. But in Ayurveda, we call it the Pitta phase. So the Pitta phase is related to the fire element. So body temperature is increasing now. You feel really good, ambitious, powerful, energetic. You feel magnetic. Your libido has increased. And so this is a very short-lived phase. And then we enter the luteal phase now. And so the later part of the menstrual cycle is where women tend to feel a little bit more agitated, easily angered, and perhaps even experiencing feelings of depression or even anxiety during this phase. And so it's important to bring harmony back to your body by understanding which phase you are in and what your bioenergetics are, and eat accordingly to that, and as well as engage in activities that do not increase the Pitta element during this time. So you'll find yourself wanting to wind down and to rest a little bit more, and it's not a time to push yourself harder. It's not a time to begin new projects. It's not a time to overcommit yourself to social engagements. It's a time to just wrap things up and to embrace warm meals, but not too spicy or oily, because that's going to increase the heat element of Pitta. Implementing coriander and other cooling herbs into this phase will be very helpful. Cooking with ghee is a great idea if that agrees with your bioenergetics, and massaging yourself with coconut oil every night will also be very helpful in balancing out that heat energy within your body. How is this your superpower? So instead of reacting to each phase, you're actually using each phase to your advantage. It puts you in a much better place mentally, emotionally, and physically. Your cycle is a built-in guide on how to do life. It tells you exactly what your mind and body needs. So this awareness of your cycle definitely goes way beyond conception. It is a roadmap to holistic health. So if you're curious to know how to work with your menstrual cycle along with your unique bioenergetics, then feel free to book a discovery call with me by visiting my website, www.hersacredcradle.com. Then we can discuss how you can start feeling empowered throughout your cycle every month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.